In this video, we're going to have an introduction to distance problems. One says the distance formula is d is equal to r times t, where d is equal to distance, r is equal to rate, and t is equal to time. In A, it says, what are the units of rate? And if we were to take our distance is equal to rate times time formula and solve it for rate, we would have r is equal to distance over time. So our units are going to be in distance over time. In B, it says, find R if D is equal to 70 feet and T is equal to 2 minutes. So we have R is equal to D over T, and this is equal to 70 feet over 2 minutes, or 35 feet per minute. And 2 it asks, how long does it take to travel 150 miles if you are traveling at 65 miles per hour? And here they gave us a distance of 150 miles, and they gave us a rate of 65 miles per hour. So we need to solve for t. So we have distance is equal to rate times time, and we know that distance is 150, and we know our rate is 65, and we're trying to solve for t. So we're going to divide both sides by 65, and we get t is equal to 2.3. And if our distance is in miles and our rate is in miles per hour, then time is going to be in hours. So t is equal to 2.3 hours. So it takes us 2.3 hours to travel 150 miles. In 3, we have an eastbound plane travels at X miles per hour. A westbound plane travels 50 miles per hour faster. Write an expression for the rate of the westbound plane. And the westbound plane is traveling 50 miles per hour faster than the eastbound plane, and the eastbound plane is traveling at X miles per hour. So that means the westbound plane expression is X plus 50. In 4, it says, you leave your house at T hours. Your sister leaves the house 30 minutes later. Write an expression for the time your sister left the house. And you left the house at T hours, and your sister was 30 minutes later. So the expression is going to be T minus 30 minutes. Now we have to be careful here because they told us that you leave the house at T hours, and then they gave us our sister leaving the house in terms of minutes, 30 minutes. And 30 minutes is a half an hour. So your sister left the house in T minus 1/2. You have to make sure that the units of measure match up when you write your expressions. In 5, it says, in problems A and B, fill in the table with the given information. Do not solve the problem. In A, we have 2 planes leave Detroit, one flying east and the other flying west. The westbound plane travels 50 miles per hour faster than the eastbound plane. After 2 hours, they are 800 miles apart. Find the speed of each plane. The first thing they want us to do is assign a variable to represent the speed of the eastbound plane, and I'm going to choose R for rate. And now to fill in our chart, we can start by plugging our R in for the rate of the eastbound plane. And then for the westbound plane, they told us that it was traveling 50 miles per hour faster, so we're going to have R plus 50. And for the time, both the time for the eastbound and the westbound plane are the same. It's the 2 hours, so we have 2. And now for the distance of the eastbound plane, which I'll represent by D subscript E, is equal to 2R, rate times time. And for our westbound plane, we'll use dW is equal to 2 times R plus 50. In B, it says, You and your friend are taking a road trip. You leave a rest area ahead of your friend traveling at 60 miles per hour. Your friend leaves 30 minutes later traveling on the same road at 70 miles per hour. How long before your friend catches up to you? So, the first thing we want to do is assign a variable to represent the time you are traveling. So, we're going to have t for time, and we're going to go ahead and put t in for time for you into our chart. And then they tell us that you are traveling at 60 miles per hour and your friend is traveling at 70 miles per hour. And now for your friend's time, it told us that your friend is leaving 30 minutes later. And we need to think about 30 minutes in terms of hours. So we're going to have 1/2 of an hour. So we're going to have t minus 1/2. And now distance for you is equal to 60t. And now distance for your friend is equal to 70 times t minus 1/2. And that's all for this video on the introduction to distance problems.